Making things clear and simple sometimes brings challenges that border on the impossible. Explaining to you in 3 or 4 minutes how one of the most advanced gearboxes in the world works is definitely a mission impossible. They have evolved to such a point that they allow for reduced fuel consumption and a noticeable improvement in comfort. They are absolutely reliable, absolutely comfortable, and come with a ton of advantages so that you feel safe and your car is as economical as possible. I want to introduce you to the most advanced gearbox that Mercedes-Benz has brought to the market. It's the result of a lot of experimentation and tremendous teamwork in engineering to try to optimize this and achieve such a remarkable outcome. Sometimes, when we see something working, we can't imagine, or it's hard to imagine, everything that's inside that component to make it work smoothly and correctly. As a whole, it looks simple, but just look at this array of elements. Engineering is art, and I want to share that art with you. In this case, Mercedes-Benz optimized something that was already almost at the edge of perfection: automatic transmissions. However, there's always a little more that can be done. This transmission has 7 gears. Just imagine if it were manual and you had to constantly shift through 7 gears by hand. It would be impossible. One of the differences between an automatic transmission and a conventional one is that the automatic transmission, especially these highly advanced ones, has a gear selection system where, as I always say, the famous electronic elves, in this case, a combination of electronics and hydraulics, decide the exact moment to shift gears, aiming for a mix of comfort, fuel efficiency, and performance. That is to say, it will shift gears at the exact moment it needs to, something that, from a fuel consumption standpoint, you would probably miss if you were driving manually. The transmission, on the other hand, will choose the exact right moment. They even have high-performance modes and economy modes. Internally, it's completely different from a conventional transmission. Take a look at the breakdown of this transmission and you'll see there are very few gears. How does this work? Nothing, absolutely nothing to do with a conventional transmission. There are a series of coupling systems and thermal clutches that allow it to work, which is totally different from a conventional transmission. In this particular case of this Mercedes-Benz transmission, it has a series of coupling systems designed to make the ride more comfortable. It has a damper system. A damper is a shock absorber so that the pulses generated by the engine and those coming from the transmission are minimized, making the whole driving experience much smoother and more comfortable. The coupling will happen in a much more gradual way. It will select the exact gear you need. How does it work? Just like there are electronic boards that are used to, well, move electrons so everything works, automatic transmissions usually have hydraulic circuits, and depending on how that hydraulic circuit is designed, there can also be internal losses and different reaction speeds within the transmission itself. This transmission system has been developed very specifically with, I repeat, fuel efficiency and comfort in mind. Even the internal fluid system of the transmission has been completely redesigned with an external pump specifically to minimize the transmission's energy consumption. But the transmission does use energy. Of course it does, because there are gears rubbing against each other. Otherwise, it wouldn't heat up and it wouldn't need lubrication. There is energy consumption. Can we reduce it? In this transmission, it is indeed reduced, and they introduce a series of improvements in terms of the number of gears, comfort, and fuel consumption. And this topic that's so popular right now, exhaust gas emissions, the vehicle definitely emits less. To sum up, it's more comfortable to drive, there are far fewer vibrations, and you get as much performance as you want. Remember, you can also control this manually if you want to optimize performance. This segment, more than showing you a technical aspect, was meant to make you aware that sometimes your vehicle may have engineering work and a level of complexity you might not even imagine, and that a group of people really worked hard to make it better. In this case, Mercedes-Benz optimized something that was already almost at the limit of perfection: automatic transmissions. However, there's always a little bit more that can be done.
Subscribe to our channel, AutoTechTV. Technology, clear and simple.